Hello and welcome back to our fifth installment of our video series on the soil mod, which I've titled Practical Use of the Soil Mod for Farming Simulator 15. So this is day 15. It is Monday morning, just after 7 a.m. on our farm, Graceland. And I'm standing out in what is our wheat field. This is field number 2 for me on the Graceland map. And we're just taking a look at our soil conditions and looking out over our relatively large field of wheat that looks very nice. Um, it looks healthy, and it looks like it's going to be a good harvest for us. So let me just bring that up. We'll quickly check our weather forecast today. Our weather forecast is calling for a high of 19 degrees Celsius, mostly cloud, or I guess cloudy today. Um, so good news later in the week because I've got other crops that I'm going to really look forward to that rain that's coming on Friday. But relatively mild temperatures for the rest of the week. But as I have said several times through the course of these five videos, is that your weather conditions are not they're not static. They're very much dynamic from the sense that you can exit out of the game and come back into the game and get completely different figures. Even for today, I mean, we could get a completely different temperature outlook for today if we just exited out of the game and came back. But we're not going to do that. What we are going to do is we are going to bring over our little log sheet that we've been keeping on a daily basis. As a matter of fact, let me just pull that out of the way. Let me get back into the game so that we can just review our soil conditions there. If we look at our soil conditions, we are at 6.4, which is exactly where we were yesterday at this particular point in time. Our moisture is at 57%, which, if you recall, that's our ideal number. Our nutrients of N and our nutrients of PK is at 6 and 5. And these numbers are slightly elevated by 1 point on the scale from perfection. So we'll have to look and see how we do as far as our yields go. If you recall, and let me just bring this over so I can move my mouse and slide this log sheet over. This is the log sheet that we've been keeping from day one. Talks about our field number 2 being wheat, a wheat crop. We started this on day 11, on Farming Sim day 11. Our soil conditions at that time was 7.1 pH. Our perfect number, our magic number is 6.8. Moisture was at 57%, N level of 5, PK level of 4. So we were right on the money on moisture and our nutrient levels when we started this field. We expected to have 1 day of temperatures above 22 degrees Celsius. We actually had 2 days. We did have that one rainy day slash hell day. We did get moisture out of that, and I think it worked out for us in the long run. We did water, I think, twice. I think we watered twice, if I'm not mistaken. But in any event, we did not use lime. We planned on applying liquid uh, one liquid N and one liquid PK fertilizer. We did that, and we applied herbicide double C at the point in which we seeded. Day 11, we recorded these numbers, and we basically seeded on this day and applied our double dose of C herbicide. On day 12, we recorded these numbers, etc., etc. Our numbers that we are concerned about here today are these numbers down here at the bottom. Our pH level of 6.4 is what we're reading currently. We have a moisture of 57. We have an N level of 6 and a PK level of 5. Now, if you'll remember from the very first day, the very first video, I introduced you to a spreadsheet that we put some numbers into and looked at what our potential plan could be if the weather and all other conditions held. And it told us that on our harvest day, that we could expect these numbers. pH level of 6.5, we're off by 1. Moisture, 57%, we're spot on the money. Nutrient level of 6, we are at 6. Now keep in mind that is high by 1. pK level of 5. We could expect 5. We got 5. Again, that is high by one factor. Now we have no weed infestation and we also have no weed coverage, but that's okay because we're harvesting today. So how could we expect our nutrient level being high for both N and PK? How can we expect that to hurt us? Well, essentially setting it at an N level of 6. If we look at our chart, obviously 5 gives us a 100% yield. At 4 we get 90%. At 6 I would expect about 90% as well. On the PK side of things, slightly high PK level. 4 obviously is the magic number. When we drop down to 3 on the low side, that's 80%. Obviously, um, higher than that, if it were a 7, that would really hurt us at 30% at 30% modifier. But I think we're going to be okay. And I'm just looking at my numbers here from the last time that I did this field, and actually my numbers here, as I turn my head to look, my numbers were actually much improved this time. I don't have that chart scanned in, and I'm not gonna waste your time by doing that. But our numbers were much higher. Our moisture was lower. The pH level was spot on the last time I did this field, but our nutrients of N and our PK of 5 were also higher. So I've actually, improved through the course of using the Soilmod modification, and I think you will as well. You're probably not going to get it right the very first time that you do this, and that's okay. Don't worry about it. Consider it to be, a lessons learned exercise. So what we're going to do is we're going to harvest this field. By the way, if you recall, here on our sheet, I recorded the current amount of wheat that we have in storage. 176,634 liters is what we currently have in our silos. And so we're going to use that as a baseline, obviously, and we're going to harvest this field, and then I will come back once the harvest is done and talk about what our yield was and any other lessons that we may have learned, and basically wish you good luck in your future endeavors of using the Soilmod. So I will see you when we return after the harvest. All right, well, welcome back to the conclusion of our final video. And this is after the harvest. We have harvested our field number 2, and had a little bit of a problem, and I didn't get the chart back scanned in. My scanner is not wanting to cooperate, so I will just tell you that our crop yield for this particular crop on this field was 310,456 liters of wheat. The yield before was about 295. So we managed to get about 15,000 liters more from this particular harvest than we did the last one. So it's improving. We've got a good start for our next planting, which we will do in just a couple of game days. We'll let this field rest one day and then resume planting on that. So I hope that the Soilmod is something that you will give a try, at least give it a try. If the map is Soilmod ready, all you need to do is install the Soilmod and you're good to go. And I hope you will use the tools, and feel free to use my workflow checklist, change it the way you need it, all of that good stuff. And please remember to check back with Grizzly Bear Sims blog site for more interesting blog news and mod reviews and just adventure fun that I have through the various simulation games that I play. Thanks for watching the videos, and I will see you next time.